I don't even know how it happened, but the best Pokemon card deck of the 2020 season was Pikachu and Zekrom with Vikavolt, piloted by Isaiah Bradner, which beat Sanders' Cinccino control deck in the finals of the Atlas Pog Championships. This was the final tournament of the Ultra Prism to Darkness Ablaze format before we moved to the Team Up to Darkness Ablaze format starting on Friday, so this was pretty much the last chance Pikarom had to be relevant, and it finished in first place. There was actually a lot of Pikarom in the top 32, but only one other Pikarom made top 8. The remaining 5 decks were a straight Vikavolt V deck, a Mewtwo Welder deck, ADP-Zation, Eternatus VMAX, and Marshadow Mill. Pikarom outlasted them all to take the win, but as I've covered multiple times before, unfortunately this deck will not exist in a week, or, I mean, it can still exist in a week, it just won't be nearly as good, because you lose Zeraora-GX, you lose Electropower, what else do you lose? And you lose Thunder Mountain. Losing both Thunder Mountain and Electropower at the same time really hurts, and Thunder Mountain is just a horrible loss. Getting off the turn 1 full blitz without Thunder Mountain is going to be so difficult. You're going to have to attach to a Pikachu and Zekrom. You're going to have to Tapu Koko 2 energy into play. You're going to have to energy switch one of the energy into play. And it's just going to be so much more difficult. Whereas right now you can just Guzma and Hala for your Thunder Mountain and you're good. And then you have Electropower to buff up the damage. So unfortunately, Pikarom probably isn't going to be a first place deck in the next format, but right now it is number 1, and I'm going to take it online for probably one final time, and we'll see what happens. And I'm facing off against Steve in a Pikachu costume. So yeah, Pikarom, it beat a control deck. I know this is a horrible idea, but I'm probably going to make a video about that control deck. And this is a decent start. I won't say it's a great start. I could go get Jirachi and switch. Or I can... I mean, there's not really much else I could do. Oh, and it's Mad Party. If I can get a Paralyzing Bolt off this turn, then I think I pretty much just win. So this is going to be a little bit tough for Mad Party. Okay, so they're going to have Roxy. They're going to burn all their items and put all their supporters in their hand. So if I Marnie them, all their supporters are going to be on the bottom of their deck, and they can't play items. And especially if they get like an evolution right here. So depending what they get, I don't know. Marnie is a good choice. Jirachi, there's a lot of things I can do, but if I don't get that turn 1 Paralyzing Bolt, then I'm kind of in trouble. So if I don't do good things on my first turn, this is going to be a tough matchup. And I did not get what I needed. So I think I'm going to Marnie them and just hope. That is the play here. I'm going to switch into Jirachi and then switch back probably. The fact that I don't have an energy is disheartening. The deck plays 13. There's Guzma and Hala, so I have it. I won't be able to Marnie them, but I do have it. Okay, so they're gonna Roxy or Research, so I think saving the Marnie is a pretty good idea, and I don't need to use Electropower. This is kind of tough, actually, because I kind of want to save everything. I need the switch. I would like the Marnie. I would like the Electropower for next turn. So I guess the Big Charm is what I'm ditching? That doesn't seem good. But I have the Paralyzing Bolt, so they're just relying on supporters from here on in. I would imagine that they will use Roxy first, depending if they have any Pokemon in their hand. But I'm not in a great position. But then again, neither are they. I have another switch, which is just wonderful. They can't play items. I think I'm in a decent position. I'm not 100% certain. I've never played this version of Pikarom against Mad Party, and I don't know which version of Mad Party I'm facing. If all goes well, I will play Mad Party one last time before rotation. It'll be Stefan's combo deck. Oh, okay, so I don't think this is the combo because I don't think the combo plays Dustall. And Dustall is just discard 3 cards from your hand. In most situations, that's not good, but it's not bad. And wow, so they had an insane hand. Okay, so I don't think they'll be able to get anybody else in the discard if they can't play items. And I have the knockout on this Poltergeist. There's Dance. Wow, for a deck that is kind of inconsistent, they have drawn insanely well right here. And they're going to use Spirit-Born Evolution, so this is crazy. They had everything they needed off that research and in their hand. When you're playing a deck that draws this well, I mean, is there anything you can even do? So I will switch into Jirachi. I will probably save the Speed Lightning in case I get a Quick Ball. Well, I kind of want some people, and I kind of need some things to happen. Okay, well, I should probably get another Vikavolt? Is that the right play? I don't know. I've never played the Mad Party matchup. You'd think Vikavolt would be a good idea, or is it a bad idea? I don't know. We're all finding out together, right? So I will probably attack with this one, because I can reset stamp them really low if they happen to knock it out. So they're just relying on their Oricorio and any supporters they might have, and I'm just seeing all my switches. Okay. So they are one Mad Partier away from just taking a knockout, but they still can't play any items. So they can take a knockout. This is bad. Maybe I should be Peter-Ramming it up right now. I don't know. Would Tag Bolt just win me the game? Would it lose me the game? I don't know what's going on. They have drawn so well, and I'm probably playing the deck wrong. You know, Isaiah took this to number 1. He faced so many other decks, and, you know, I'm probably doing this wrong, but, I mean, you want to shut off their items, you do that, but just that Marnie, if I hadn't ditched that Marnie, if I hadn't gone for the Guzma Hala, I don't know. This is just so confusing. And let's see their energy count. So they're down 2 triples. They should be fine. I think as long as I just reset stamp them at the end here, I should be okay. Because I'll knock them out with Vikavolt V. So they'll knock me out. I'll knock them out. They'll probably knock me out with Poltergeist. And then, oh wow, they ditched a lot there. And they probably think this is just straight Vikavolt. They probably don't think this is Peter-Ram. So that could be an advantage for me, and if they don't ever put a stadium down, that's really good. And if they can't knock out Vikavolt next turn, that's also really good. Okay, here we go, Jirachi. Let's get me out of this. I still have Thunder Mountain. That's not what I want. I would very much like a Quick Ball. Thank you very much. So I would really like to have a Zapdos or something to just take a quick knockout, but the deck doesn't play any smaller attackers. I can't attack with anybody. It's just, do I want to go with Peter-Ram or do I want to go with Choo-Choo? Choo-Choo has a little bit more health, but with Peter-Ram I can do Tag Bolt, so I'm taking a knockout. It would be Full Blitz. I think I have to attack with Peter-Ram and just hope I find a Big Charm, because I have to hope they come up short on a knockout so then I can bounce to the other one, I think. I don't know, I'm thinking ahead here, and that's not great because I need the Electropower to knock out the Poltergeist. I mean, they're probably not going to do anything I need to worry about, so I'll just switch in Jirachi and see if I get something good. Reset Stamp and Bosses. This is a great Stellar Wish. I can Bosses the Poltergeist this turn, shut off their ability to draw a little bit more, or I can bring up the Oricorio. I think I get the Big Charm, and that way I just have it. Because I don't know if knocking out the Poltergeist is really worth it. You know, just do that. Paralyzing Bolt. And I just have to hope that they don't got it, I guess. Or I guess I could have used Bosses on the Duskull, because if I knock out the Duskull, that gives me a prize that doesn't add to their damage output with Mad Party. I don't know. And maybe I should have put the Big Charm on Vikavolt. Again, this is tough. This is such a tough matchup for me. when they draw as insanely as they did, this is a tough matchup. And when they have a just continual just draw after draw, they can't play items, and I'm just shutting off their items, and they're just going crazy. That is nuts. So they will need 11 Mad Partiers to take a knockout. They have 2, 4, 6, 9, so they're too short. They need a way to get 2 more in the discard, and that should be fairly simple. They just use Oricorio and then Duskull, and they got it. But they can't... Oh, they're just going to knock out a Jirachi. That's really smart. But I think you Dance of Tribute first in case you just get it, and then you can use Duskull, right? Like, what was the... That was interesting. So I would really like a Reset Stamp. That would be just absolutely perfect at this point. So I put the Vikavolt down. I put the Tapu Koko down. I think I Electromagnetic Radar for a couple things. Yeah, I'll go get Dedenne and Pikachu, and I'll just get rid of those. Because I don't think I ever want... Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? I'll just research. I'm just thinning the deck hoping that I get a Reset Stamp, and I did. So they have 3. Just, is it smarter to Reset Stamp them next turn? And I think... Well, actually, I have Bosses, Tag Bolt. So I think Reset Stamp this turn. I don't really think it matters. But I think doing it this turn is the smartest thing, because if they get like Bosses and something crazy on my Pikachu, then that is horrible. But I have Bosses and then Tag Bolt on the Oricorio, and that's game. Because I think I'm out of Electropower. Oh no, I still have an Electropower at large, but I don't really have a way of getting it. So as long as they don't Marnie me or Stamp me, I have game. Maybe I should have been a little bit more protective of my win condition next turn. So I'm going to Dance of Tribute, but I have Bosses, I have Energy, I have Thunder Mountain. I don't have Thunder Mountain. Just don't Marnie me, and I still have game. Just attack with Mad Party. End the game there. It's all good. I'm the greatest Pikachu player ever if you do that. Nothing will go wrong. And there was nothing my opponent could have done. They had to put the Oricorio into play just to draw cards. If they hadn't have done that, it would have been a much worse game for them. So unfortunately, they had to put Oricorio into play. And they took the risk to put Dedenne down. I wonder why they did that. Well, I mean, it wasn't really a risk. They already have Oricorio on the field, so... The thing is here, they had to knock out Pikachu to take game, but I had a Big Charm on it, so the odds of them getting that knockout were very slim. They had to disrupt my hand, and it was just an unfortunate sequence for them. That was a good game, Steve. Thank you. I'm glad I saved my GX for this. And Pikachu ekes out the win there. And I will go to game 2. Depending how long game 2 is, I probably won't do a game 3 just because I've done Pikachu so much. You all know what it does. And if it gets one more win, I think that'll be a great cap to the season that Pikachu had, and I will happily retire it. And for what will be my potentially final game with Pikachu, I'm potentially facing Eternatus. And if it is Eternatus, you kind of want to go first. So yeah, I'm thinking it is Eternatus. I'm going to go first. And this would have been a great hand to go second. So I screwed that one up. And you know what? We'll see what happens. Maybe I would have whiffed it if I'd gone second, but I mean, I could have just Guzma Hala, the Jirachi and the Eldegoss, go get Speed Lightning Energy, Thunder Mountain, and Escape Board. And I just need to piece together an energy, and then I can do 150 damage. But let's see. Oh, it's Inteleon. Unfortunately for my opponent, they're playing a deck that they... Oh man, this could be really bad. So, I don't have an energy. I don't know what it is with this Pikachu deck right now. Where I just don't have an energy. So there's Quick Ball, there's Marnie. So my options here are I can Dedenne. I think I need to because they can definitely do some things if I'm not careful. And they will just snipe shot for 40. So I think I just switch into that Jirachi. I quick ball for a Dedenne. And I just go for it because I would really like an energy. Thunder Mountain isn't prized. Tapu Koko isn't prized. So everything in my deck is golden. I just need to get an energy attachment. And I will have to knock that out with Vikavolt. So, are you kidding me? What is this? So, I guess I should save the bench spot because this deck doesn't play Scoop Up Net. So, those two Jirachi are staying. That might have been a mistake, noticing the Inteleon, but I figured I play so much energy, I'd at least get a manual attachment. Come on, this is like the absolute perfect matchup for you, Pikachu. They're weak to lightning with the Inteleon. The Keldeo gets one shot by Vikavolt. I just have to get rid of 2 energy. What are you doing here? Come on. I want to send you off into the sunset with a huge win. And they had to ditch... Oh, well, that doesn't really matter. I mean, I wasn't really planning on using Tag Bolt. They're just kind of doing that to protect themselves against the surprise Tag Bolt, but that was never really in my game plan. It was just knock out Inteleon, knock out Keldeo, and knock out something else and you're fine. The Mew is just sort of there as, oh well, okay, I don't care. Wasn't really going to Tag Bolt anyway. Okay, good. I was thinking, are they not going to retreat? Retreating would be a very smart idea right now. And they benched another Snom. I'm not quite sure what they're planning or what they're thinking is going to happen in this game. But, oh, well, that's fun. Okay, so I think at this point I'm just going to put the Choo-Choo down, just research everything. Who cares at this point? Let's just see some energy. Okay, here we go. I'm getting the Vikavolt. And now that I think about it, maybe I shouldn't have done what I did. Okay, so actually let's Jirachi first. Nothing. Fantastic. Okay. Let's do this. And there's Thunder Mountain, exactly what I wanted. I kind of misplayed by putting the Choo-Choo down because I forgot I had to use Tapu Koko. But you know, you just don't think that you're going to be in a position like this. Alright, so I will switch. They can't use items. They're in a really tough position, and I can just use Super Zap Cannon to take the knockout next turn, or I can just... I need to do 120, so that would be 3 Electropower. I don't think I'm going to get 3 Electropower next turn. But, you know, fast forward 2 minutes in the video, and I research into 3 Electropower. But I can't research. I got Tapu Koko, so... There's Tag Call. Do I even have anything left? Just to peek around. Okay. You know, one thing I would like the deck to play is Mallow and Lana, just for the switch capabilities. And let's see, do I get an Electropower? I do not. I have a Bosses, though, so I can knock out a Snom. But that would be the worst idea in the history of the world, because they're an energy away from using Resolute Blade, so I unfortunately have to do this. I have to Super Zap Cannon, take the knockout. They can play their items, that is totally fine with me. I have another Vikavolt if they bring back the Keldeo. And yeah, just a couple of the things you'll notice with this deck is that Pikachu usually plays Mallow and Lana, especially with the Tag Call engine. There's no Mallow and Lana in here. There's no Boltund V in here. That is extremely rare. And there is a Zeraora. You know, you sort of saw a shift where Boltund was in the deck and then Zeraora was out. Now Zeraora is in this deck and you have 2 Vikavolt. Usually it's 1. And you only play 2 Pikachu and 1 Choo-Choo. So it's very thin on those ones. And yeah, they were just waiting to use their items. And they have Eldegoss. So what are they? Oh, they're just going for research. Okay. So I think I'm okay, because they need Switch or Air Balloon or Scoop Up Net or something. And hey, they had Crushing Hammer. So they just have the 1 in the discard, so they might have more. So, I mean, even if I hadn't used Super Zap Cannon, they might have just gotten rid of all my energy anyways. So that is interesting. And I don't have a switch, and my Thunder Mountain is down. And, you know, they probably do play Weakness Guard Energy. So if they can find that Weakness Guard Energy, I'm kind of in a tough spot right here. Because what is my switch count? I've used 3 switch. I don't have Mallow and Lana. So this Vikavolt might just be sitting here in the active, and I can't really allow that. So I definitely overbenched. That was a mistake, but I mean, if I don't put down the 2 Jirachi, it's like, what's even going on here? Because both games, no energy on that first turn, and it's like, well, what's even going on? It's a Pikarom deck. I play 13 energy in the deck, and I don't even get any. Okay, they're gonna Jirachi. I think they will probably do some things I don't want them to do this turn. And that Vikavolt is just a sitting duck right now. I mean, if they play this right, they can win. Okay. I think they're putting me in a position where I have to attach to Vikavolt and pass. Because there's no way I'm using research with this hand. I can guarantee you that I am not using research next turn. That would just be the worst idea in the history of the world. And Zigzagoon, what are they planning on doing with that? Who are you going to put the damage? Just the Jirachi, right? Yeah, okay. That makes sense. And you whiffed. Okay, so I just have to attach and pass, and that's about it. I can use bosses on the Inteleon. That wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world because it stops them from using... Yeah, sure, let's bring the Inteleon up here. You can't knock out Vikavolt next turn. So, what is your game plan? They can knock out a Dedenne and a Jirachi and take 3 prizes, and that would be tough. Okay, so they need a switch right now. They better have a switch or a scoop up net or something. Because if they have switch and bosses... Okay, Air Balloon doesn't do it. I mean, if they can't get an attack off this turn... Okay, good. Okay, I was really worried for them. Like, if you can't get an attack this turn, I just really take control of the game. So at this point, I think it makes sense to... Well, hopefully they knock out the Jirachi. Believe it or not, that would help me. And they used Hydro Snipe. Okay, that is a very smart move, actually. So they're setting up to take the knockout. How much energy is in the discard for me? 2? Okay. So I think I just do that. I have to threaten the attack. And if they play Weakness Guard Energy, they are digging for it right now. So they're just gonna keep doing this, which is slightly annoying. But I mean, at some point I could draw my other switch. And Max Blow. Okay, so they're knocking out the Jirachi and the Pikarom. Okay, so what is the Energy Switch situation? I'm down in Energy Switch. I'm down 2 Reset Stamp. I think the Jirachi just has to go up there, and because I don't... Yeah, I just have to hope I get my other switch. That's really where I'm at right now. So Tapu Koko goes down. I will... Yeah, there's nothing to thin out. I don't want to bosses anybody. I'm out of everything. So yeah, let's just Dance to the Ancients. Let's do that. I mean, there's a reality where I could have just attacked with the Dedenne and maybe taken the knockout, but who wants to see me knock out an Inteleon VMAX with a Dedenne? That would be so boring. Okay, so I'll ditch the Pikarom. I'll just go get anybody I can get rid of, I guess. Oh, the Zeraora. Okay, so I've taken a look. I have Switch. I have Energy Switch. All of the cards that I need are in the deck. It's just a matter of drawing them at this point. So I need to put that there. Do that. There's nothing to tag call, right? So I have Energy Switch. I have Switch. Maybe I should have not attached, but I just need a Switch or Energy Switch in this hand. Oh, no. No, don't. Not like this. And I don't have a Dedenne. I wouldn't even have gotten it off this? Are you kidding me? So, Electropower. This is... You know what? I'm leaving this as the final match with Pikarom, where I have this kind of luck. I'm facing a deck that has a weakness disadvantage, and I'm going to lose. And I think that's just hilarious. That is such the perfect way for this deck to go out is... What you don't see when I'm recording with Pikarom is games like this, where I don't see any energy ever. And, oh, don't tell me you're going to hit the Pikarom. And, oh, that was a mistake, I think. Okay, so if I Speed Lightning the Pikarom, I can get the Energy Switch. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, if I use Research this turn... Okay, well, this is a tough situation to be in. I think I just have to research, or how much is Paralyzing Bolt doing? It would do 110, that's not enough. So I need to attach to the Pikarom, and then hope they just don't got it like that, because... Yeah, so this is hilarious. I have to go down to one card left in my deck, and if that one card is an Energy Switch, I lose. This is going to be hilarious. Okay, it wasn't the Energy Switch. I can put a Big Charm on the Pikarom. I can Energy Switch up to it. And I think yeah, oh. So that's how it ends with Pikarom, is I was within just one wrong move of losing against Inteleon VMAX. Inteleon VMAX has that lightning weakness. They played really well against Pikarom. I'll give them that. Unfortunately, they did not play Weakness Dart Energy. What else did they have? They had the Bucket, they had some Crushing Hammer, they had Scoop Up Net, they had Switch. So they were playing a good list, and they got a pretty good matchup in Pikarom because Keldeo is immune to GXs, and then Inteleon can just deny me energy, and when you're never drawing energy with Pikarom, it's really easy for Inteleon to do some things. But I had that heart-pounding research to the bottom of my deck to end the game. Vikavolt was the MVP because I couldn't launch an attack with Pikarom. And I know I'm using this one, and I can't bring up the other ones, unfortunately. But I just really like the art on the promo one. It is so nice. And while this isn't the final time I will play a Pikachu and Zekrom deck, forever, I'm sure I'll play it in Expanded. I'll try it post-rotation just to see if it's worth playing. This is definitely the final time that Pikarom will be, the top deck out there. Losing both Electropower and Thunder Mountain is just too big of a hurdle to overcome. But this was the first tag team ever revealed. People went nuts when this thing was revealed. A basic Pokemon with 240 hit points. An attack that could do 200 to the active and snipe 170. Full Blitz just puts energy into play. This card was amazing when it was announced. It was amazing when it launched. It's been good for, the entire time it's been released. Unfortunately, those tools that make it better are leaving. And I will end the video here. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And other than that, I will see you probably later today with the 4th place deck in the Atlas Championships, which was Mewtwo Welder. I'll see you then.